For the Philadelphia Soul, the road to the championship in the Arena Bowl is a long one with 18 regular season games. This past week, it took them all the way cross country to Spokane, Washington. And there, they didn't hit a bump in the road. They found a crater. How will they rally? It's time to walk the plank.
Walk the Plank is presented by Foods Galore, preferred food supplier for Chickies and Pete's since the start. Bargain Car, Truck and Van Rental in Brookhaven, Broomall, and Chadds Ford. Bradford White Water Heaters, the official water heater of the Philadelphia Soul. Geno's Steaks, the best cheesesteaks in Philadelphia since 1966. Susquehanna Bank, the preferred banking partner of the Philadelphia Soul. Valley Forge Casino Resort, located just 2 minutes from the King of Prussia Mall on North Gulf Road. And by Bud Light. Here we go.
From the home of the Soul, Chickie and Pete's in South Philadelphia, it's another edition of the Soul Show, Walk the Plank. Hi, everyone. I'm Lou Tilley. Walk the Plank brought to you by Foods Galore. Scott Kindness, their vice president. We thank them for their sponsorship. Coach Plank and Coach Clint Dolezel both gone missing after just the third loss of this season. As we mentioned in the preview, Tom Goodhine sitting by with us tonight, the general manager of the team, and my co-host, my color man on our telecast from Spokane. And Tommy, I gotta tell you, when I talk to people, first of all, it's like planes, trains, and automobiles trying to get out to this place. It's one of those places you can't get there from here. And when we did, as I said, it wasn't a pothole, it was a crater. It was a lost weekend, man.
It's a tough place to get to. Talking to the coaching staff following the game as well, it's not an excuse you like to use as far as performance played.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I think of it is the guys were well rested. The guys had the opportunity to have some downtime before the game. A tough location to get to, but I think the fact that it was played at 11 o'clock Eastern time and the body clock didn't really catch up to the guys.
I think
it was noticeable.
It was noticeable. Listen, a year ago, though, you were out there with the team, and they fell behind 27-7 in the first quarter. Take a look at this line score. The highest scoring team in the whole AFL, your team, the Soul, shut out in the first quarter. I mean, that just jumps off the page at you, and just 14 points at the half.
Well, you got to get the offense going, and I think that Coach Dolezel on the offense and Dan Radabaugh, who we'll have tonight, will tell you that you can't start slow in arena football. You really got to hit your rhythm early. And that Western Division is very tough. Spokane is a very underrated team. They did come out guns a-blazing, and you can see at 4-4, they're at the bottom of that division. They're still a formidable opponent.
It's funny you say guns a-blazing because, you know, I'm walking around the streets of Spokane, such as it is, an old mining town. You're actually closer to Canada than you are to any other U.S. city up there. And I actually saw a guy, and this is no lie, I actually saw a guy with a six-shooter strapped to his thigh, and it was like, okay, that's normal. That got to me a little bit. And then we had 10,000 of those people inside the arena that night, and they jumped us pretty good. Let's talk about the league, though, Tom, and look forward now. Because of this loss, just the third of the year to go to 7-3, look at the standings now. Because we're heading to Cleveland, and all of a sudden, that team is right there tied in the loss column with the Soul.
The Eastern Division is going to be tough. And the thing, or the positive you take away from the game this past weekend, even at 7-3, we still have the best record in the league. So you got to build on that positive, looking forward and not looking back. I think that's what the team's going to do this week. Cleveland's going to be a tough opponent, but we still have to remember we are ahead of them with the 7 wins.
And that's one team that's beaten the Soul head-to-head, okay? And that's a divisional game right here at the Wells Fargo Center. And that game was chippy. They came out like they did a year ago in Cleveland in the pregame, remember? The Cheatwood hit one of our guys in the face flush before the game last year. They did it again this year, and they seem to get under our team the same way maybe the Flyers got under the Pittsburgh Penguins in that playoff series.
Well, that's been their MO. It's not only been against Philadelphia, it's been against Milwaukee, and it happened a couple other times in the season against other teams in Orlando as well. And we just have to know that that's going to try to take us out of our game. We need to stick to our game plan and perform like we know we can perform.
Yeah, have some poise and all that. We were just kidding. Clint Dozel and Coach Plank didn't bail out because of the loss. They're back home because they've got some personal business there, so Tommy's filling in. And we've got some great guests coming, including Coach Leroy Thompson, who will be here. And we'll also have a very special guest. But first, we want to tell you about the next home game after the Cleveland game. When we come back, this game will be huge, as the Soul will be home to take on the Orlando Predators at the Wells Fargo Center. That's June the 2nd at the Wells Fargo Center. Kickoff is 7:05. Get your tickets at 888-789-SOUL or go to PhiladelphiaSoul.com. And if you can't make it down, Tommy and I will be broadcasting that game on the Comcast network. The quarterback of the Soul is really the heart and soul of the team. And Dan Rodabaugh will be back to join us right after this break from Chicky and Pete's. You're watching Walk the Plank. We'll be right back.
If you've been seriously injured in an auto accident, remember this name. If you're being pressured by the insurance company to take a settlement that isn't fair, remember this name. If you need someone to fight for you to get the money you deserve, remember this name. Lundy Law. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW. Winning millions for clients in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware for over 50 years.
We got this!
7 wins in their first 9 games. The best record in all of the Arena League at midseason. Heading towards another title, your Philadelphia Soul. Be there for their next home showing, Saturday, June 2 at the Wells Fargo Center.
We got this!
You have 25 hours of things to do every day and just 24 hours to do them. Finding time to manage your money can be a chore. Susquehanna Bank offers a variety of checking options to help. Whether you're on the road, at home, or anywhere in between. And even though convenience is its own reward, it's just one of the many we offer. Susquehanna Bank, doing what counts for busy people like you. Member FDIC.
Scott, he's doing a great job for us, whether it be, the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
Hey, welcome back to Walk the Plank. We shoot it at the Souls Clubhouse down here in South Philly at Chickies and Pete's, where a lot of the VIP season ticket holders come after the games. I'm Lou Tilley, Coach Plank now with us, Tom Goodhines, the general manager, my broadcast partner joining us, and Dan the Man, quarterback of the Philadelphia Soul. Still the 5th leading passer in all of the AFL in passing efficiency, 67% pass completions on the year, 288 yards per game, 67 touchdown passes on the season in just 10 games. Sounds like you have a great year, but you don't look happy tonight, Dan the Man.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to hurt after you lose, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe it was just a long flight home and it's sticking with me a little bit, but I'm ready for Cleveland this week. We got something for them, so.
You got to do that, don't you?
Yeah.
You got to put it behind you.
Yeah, that's important. Got to have that short-term memory and just be ready to go. I mean, we're blessed to have the opportunity to play football, and I'm excited about practice coming up. So.
And you have to have short-term memory out on the field. Mm-hmm. And we walk into this Spokane thing, and I'm telling this, I don't know if you heard this, but I saw people walking in the streets with 6-shooters out there. It's different. I'm not kidding. And I'm sure there were a bunch of them in the stands, and that was a packed house, 10,000 people. They're all down your throat. You throw a couple of quick picks early on. You got to put that behind you, even though you were down 30 points. At one point, you had a chance to get within 8, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't help us. I put us in a tough spot early. Like I said, early picks. I want to say it was the first pass of the game I had. Under through Jeff. Probably would have been a touchdown. We put it out there. But, I thought we fought hard. We put ourselves in that hole, and we're going to climb out of it together. And I mean, like you said, we got it close down there. I think we got it to 10.
Yeah, you got it to 10. You went for 2.
And we missed it. And I mean, you're right there. And that was early in the fourth quarter. Lots of time, and anything can happen in this wild game. But we got to get off to a better start, and that's what we're going to focus on.
That's been a problem.
Yeah.
Your highlights tonight are brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. I want you to take a look at this one. This might have been the prettiest ball you threw all night. It's when you were down by 17 in the comeback here. You throw this beautiful strike to Hughley down inside the end zone. I think it's a touchdown, but then he is blown up by
man.
Sanders. That was a brutal hit.
Yeah, we ran it was a double post concept. We ran it at a bunch where Emery goes deep, Tiger runs the short cross, and Jeff, we tried to sneak him behind on a vertical route. We normally run him on a shorter route on that play, but he snuck behind the defense, and that window was open for a second, and number 5 got in there and slammed it shut pretty close, and I'm glad Jeff got up and was okay from that, because it was pretty vicious.
They did call a penalty for excessive roughness.
Yeah, but Jeff's a tough kid. We're lucky to have him.
Yeah, you're right.
He pops up, so.
I like it when you talk that technical stuff, man. That was good. We ought to put a microphone on you, which we have.
We've been trying to fill.
Yeah.
We've been trying to fill Tom in on it, so.
A little bit.
Tommy?
Now, this year, obviously, a little bit different from last year, second year in the league, but same offensive system under Clint. How about some of the weapons, and talk about some of the guys you've been throwing to a little bit this year?
Well, I mean, the guys we've got out there on the edges are incredible. You know, Tiger's done a great job. He's right near the top of the league in every statistical category for receivers. Jeff does a good job. You could call him our Iron Man, I guess. And then Emery stepped in for Donovan, and Derek, takes it wherever we ask him to. But I think our best play on offense right now has been up front with the O-line. Starts with Brennan. Brennan's done a good job being a leader in and out of the huddle. And then Christian and Zip played with each other in college, and they play well off each other, and we get along well, so that all helps.
What do you think with Donovan possibly coming back this week, just seeing how his injury's coming along? What dimension does that bring back into play for you?
Donovan Morgan.
Yeah. Big Demo, I saw him in the weight room today. He looks ready to go, but see how he does in practice this week. But he does a lot of things for us. He's dynamic. He's not only big and fast, but he's also effective in that short little bubble screen game. And, we kind of have got away from that a little bit, and it's a weapon that we use successfully. But, I mean, he's got a lot of experience. He's very passionate about the game, and he's a guy who's going to bring more energy into that locker room when he comes back, and he's going to score touchdowns and make plays for us.
Dan, it's becoming evident to me that tall receivers are really important in this league, and you were victimized by it this past week with Chanel with 5 touchdown passes against some of our smaller DBs. Do you look to do that as well? Donovan is really your tallest receiver when he comes back.
Yeah, I mean, Donovan's a tall guy. Larry's pretty tall, too.
Yeah, Larry Brackett.
We'll get him in the mix down in the red zone here as soon as he gets healthy again. But, big receivers do help in this game. Adron had a pretty good game. I played against him in high school.
Really?
Yeah, he's a pretty good player. He's been catching those touchdowns for years.
Yeah.
So. But it's the game, man. The scheme, arena football will beat you, not the height of the receiver. I mean, Tiger Jones, you've met him. He's not the tallest guy, but he's tough to cover.
But he's fast. He'll remind me of that. 4.36.
Yeah,
he says.
4.36. I think.
Yeah, we know.
But it's the scheme. I mean, they're lucky that those guys fit in their scheme. But we got Jeff out there making plays up and down the field, running up that wall, bouncing off the wall, and Tiger Jones catches 10, 12 balls a game. So it's not all about how big you are. It's playing big in your role. And I think our guys have done a good job of that.
In your ability this year, what do you think as far as the leadership and what you've been asked to do for this team this year on the offensive side? Not only offense, really, but the entire team of what on and off the field.
Well, on the offense, it's just don't crash the Ferrari.
Right.
Try to steer her straight and keep her down there and drive it into the end zone. But
Did you come up with that, or Clint give you that one?
Don't crash the Ferrari. I don't know. I like to think that we play fast. I like to think that we've got a little swagger or attitude to us. But at the same time, you can get the speed wobbles going a little bit and go out there and make a bad read early or put yourself in a hole, and then you're not playing your game. But, I mean, in the first 10 games of the season, I thought we've done a good job of playing our game. There's been a few games we stumbled out the gate and had to fight back and had some good second halves. But these next 8, I want to continue the leadership role. Be there every day, film, even on the off days, go in there, get something done, be productive, be a leader, be seen, and just let the guys know you can trust me, And I think we've done that, and I trust in all the other guys, and we're ready to go back, get it on.
And Lou, this is why he was one of the first signings in this offseason, just because that quarterback position is extremely important.
Yeah.
And Dan epitomizes that both on and off the field.
Yeah, Dan Rodabaugh, quarterback, Philadelphia Soul, one of the best in the league, one of the youngest in the league. Big upside for the Philadelphia Soul. Good luck the rest of the way, Dan, this weekend in Cleveland. And then our next TV game coming up June 2nd when the Soul come back home. Check them out at 888-879-SOUL and on PhiladelphiaSoul.com. And you can see it on TV with Tommy and I coming up on June the 2nd. We're right back with more Walk the Plank.
We got this.
7 wins in their first 9 games. The best record in all of the Arena League at midseason. Heading towards another title, your Philadelphia Soul. Be there for their next home showing, Saturday, June 2 at the Wells Fargo Center.
We got this.
I do a lot of weird stuff to save money.
Carpooling.
We clip coupons. Coupons. Coupons.
You gotta eat leftovers, man. You got to.
Susquehanna Bank knows you're always looking for ways to save money.
Well, I eat in a lot more than I used to.
I use this to get places.
I buy generic everything. We use those swirly light bulbs.
You work hard for your money, and Susquehanna can help you keep more of it with free checking. Open your account today. Susquehanna Bank, doing what counts. Member FDIC.
If you've been seriously injured in an auto accident, remember this name. If you're being pressured by the insurance company to take a settlement that isn't fair, remember this name. If you need someone to fight for you to get the money you deserve, remember this name. Lundy Law. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW. Winning millions for clients in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware for over 50 years.
Hi, this is Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Chicky and Pete's has been recognized as the best sports bar in North America. We couldn't have done it without you, our loyal fans. You know, the Philadelphia sports fan wears their heart on their sleeve and has the enthusiasm like no other city in America. So at this time, we'd like to thank you for supporting your teams and supporting us at Chicky and Pete's, making us #1. Come down to Chicky and Pete's at Packer Avenue and see the trophy for being the #1 sports bar in North America. We'll see you here at Chicky and Pete's.
Derrick Ross, and that might have been the best offensive highlight in a disappointing loss on the road at Spokane by the Soul this past Saturday night, taking them to 7-3 on the season. I'm Lou Tilley. You're watching Walk the Plank, brought to you by Foods Galore, the exclusive members and makers now of Artisan Pride's Deli Meats, and we want to give away the beef of the week. We give it to Derrick Ross this week. Courtesy of Artisan's Pride. He's got a 5-pounder waiting for him. Lou Tilley along with Tom Goodhines filling in for Coach Blank, and Coach Leroy Thompson making his TV debut with us. It's been far too long, sir. We wait for the biggest loss of the season to bring you in.
Glad to be here,
Are you
man.
glad about that?
I'm glad to be here. It was one that was taking so long.
Yeah, there you go. We ought to give you one of these pieces of meat, big guy.
Yeah, I can do a little something
we
with
came in with Ross because in your career, and you retired just a few years ago in the AFL, you played some fullback. You hold the ball for 1,000 yards, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a good time. You know, it took me a few years to pick the game up. Never played fullback before, never touched the football, always kind of was a defensive guy. But worked hard at it and became, really good on the goal line and short yard situations, so it kind of worked out for me.
Now, along with Doug Plank and Clint Dozell and Coach Fenton, what is your main responsibility in coaching the team?
I work with the offensive line, the defensive line, linebackers, and fullbacks. So
That's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. I get help by Darren Kenny, who also played 13 years in the league, very knowledgeable on both sides of the ball, and I think we work well together. So.
All right, I got to ask you, you turned over Tom here, turned over the defense along with Coach Plank a bunch in the last couple of weeks, and you've gone with smaller, faster, more athletic linemen, and it didn't work at Spokane. Is it just because of the newness of it?
Well, it's gelling guys together. Justin Warren, this is only his second week. TJ just came in, and it was his first week. Just trying to get the chemistry going on the defensive side of the ball. But up front, I think we're ahead of the game, and I think another game or so we'll be in stride.
You got Brian Robinson with 7 sacks, a protege of yours a little bit. Dustin Barno up front, TJ Langley you mentioned earlier. Give us a little feel of what to look for moving forward with this group of guys and what we can expect to see.
I think the biggest thing we're looking for is our guys just to be active. If you look around the league, different teams, their pass rush is very active. Guys who are relentless, guys who don't give up on plays, and usually when you see sacks given up or sacks made, they're actually made at the end of the play, guys that are hustling and just doing what they need to do to make the play. So.
And being a linebacker yourself, and Lou, one of only 6 guys to rush for more than 1,000 yards in league history. Talk a little bit about more your side of things, the linebacker position. Jerome Hayes has been doing a great job for you, but Brandon Perkins coming back off of IR has been tremendous for us.
Oh man, Brandon's on fire right now. You know, I've been talking to those guys, really trying to pattern them after the game I played, which is more of a aggressive power type game. That's the only way to play Mac in this league, and I think Perkins is doing an excellent job. I mean, he's athletic, he's fast, he's powerful, he's explosive. He has all the tools, and I think he's going to end up being one of the best to play the game.
The combination of everybody, you also mentioned linebacker Joe Gooseby. The pieces are there for this team to put something together special in the second half of the season.
A lot of athletes, a lot of interchangeable parts.
What do you think is going to be the difference here moving forward with this defense? Because obviously the pieces are there. What is it going to take for this group to gel and move it?
I think just staying the course, just understanding, watching film, really studying our opponents that we're going against, and just have an understanding that we're a very talented bunch. We have all the tools. We just need to take a step further and really concentrate on our game, what we need to do to make ourselves better, and I think we'll be fine.
All right, we're running out of time here, Leroy, but we will have you back, we hope, with a better result next time. But I do want to mention that you're one of the few people in the world that has cinema credits. You've been on a big silver screen in Invincible,
that's
our Philadelphia story.
Yeah.
You played Carl Hairston.
I called Big Daddy Hairston.
Yeah, babe.
Yeah, it was an honor and it was a great experience. Being a local guy and being able to be in the movies about the Philadelphia Eagles, who I grew up watching, pretty much my whole life. And the 3 months we shot it here in Philly was a wonderful experience, and to get a chance to work with Vince and Mark Wahlberg was just unbelievable. So I think about it all the time, and I watch the movie, and I just, I get goosebumps when I see it.
So do I, because we all know each other so well here in Philadelphia, and I didn't realize that until tonight. But that's cool.
Yeah.
I was shot in the movie also.
Okay.
But they cut me out. You know why? They said I wasn't realistic enough as a sports broadcaster.
Oh, wow.
And they went with the cheesy Hollywood guy instead.
with the big mustache.
Yeah, not that I'm bitter or anything. I used to have one of those.
You know Ron Burgundy.
I used to be. Leroy Thompson. We're back with more Walk the Plank as we get ready for the big game against Cleveland. And I mean, there's a background to this story that you want to see when we come back. But the next home game comes after that on June the 2nd. Get your tickets now by calling the Soul at 888-789-SOUL or going to PhiladelphiaSoul.com. And we'll be right back with more Walk the Plank with Chippy and Peter.
If you've been seriously injured in an auto accident, remember this name. If you're being pressured by the insurance company to take a settlement that isn't fair, remember this name. If you need someone to fight for you to get the money you deserve, remember this name. Lundy Law. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW. Winning millions for clients in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware for over 50 years.
Scott, he's doing a great job for us, whether it be, the steak meat, the lobster, everything is our own brand. It's a testimonial to Foods Galore.
Service is what's made our company. Loyalty, reliability, honesty. Your growth was one of the main reasons why I evolved in the business.
People look at Chicky and Pete's as a success story, but it's actually your success story. It works just like a marriage, because I still have my wife and I still have you.
So, Mr. Jaworski, we wanted to show you the new packaging for Goldenberg's Peanut Chews. Of course, it still has the same original chewy, chocolatey, peanutty taste. Would you like to try one?
Sure.
So?
Man, these are really good. Mm-hmm. What? Now that's chewing it old school.
Your Soul Injury Report is brought to you by 1-800-LUNDY-LAW. For this Sunday afternoon game at 4 versus Cleveland, Larry Bracken's still out, Dusty Bear's still out, but doubtful and maybe making his first appearance in 6 weeks, Donovan Morgan, the big play wide receiver. Questionable Clark, probable Dustin Barno. The Injury Report brought to you by 1-800-LUNDY-LAW. Injury and disability lawyers serving PA, New Jersey, and Delaware. Lundy Law is the official law firm of the Philadelphia Soul. And this just in for the June 2nd game when we come back to the Wells Fargo Center, and you get your tickets at 888-789-SOUL, PhiladelphiaSoul.com. A special concert after that game on the 2nd as Fat Joe, who currently has the number 7 hit on the Billboard hip-hop charts, who pushed around. Fat Joe will be performing after the game for 30 minutes. And I know, Tommy, you and I will be coming out of the locker room, coming out of the broadcast booth after that one to jump in or whatever you do with hip-hop. I don't know. Cleveland game, Sunday, big game. You're tied in the loss columns for first place. This team last year comes out, pops Ametre in the face before the game. Cheekwood does the same thing at this game down here. That's all I can think about. Will they try to pull the same nonsense again?
We're expecting it. Maybe not to that extent, to the level of throwing fists, but we do expect them to try to get us off our game. Obviously, you use those tactics when you might be a little bit outmatched. Just throwing that out there. But I think that what we need to do as a team is to focus on what we bring to the table, and that's play solid offense and bring the defense the way we know we can.
Well, they must be playing some football, Tom, because they've won 4 in a row now.
They're a quality team.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. I just think that once you get a team and you know their strengths and weaknesses, if you can rattle them a little bit, and that seems to be their MO at the beginning of the game, pre-game or whatnot, that you might be able to get that little extra edge that they might not normally.
And you're probably going to activate number 2, Donovan Morgan, who was involved in that pregame brawl here at Cleveland.
Well, he's been working hard to get back in shape, and a lot of it is not the fact that it's not healed, because he does heal fast, and he has shown that he can come back from injury really quickly, but can he get those muscles back in shape in time from that wrist? Because what you don't want him to do is re-injure it immediately if the muscles aren't cut up to speed from being in that cast.
That's Sunday, 4 o'clock against Cleveland, and then we come back for the next home game at the Wells Fargo Center on June 2. Fat Joe performing after that game, 7 o'clock start. Get your tickets at 888-789-SOUL or PhiladelphiaSoul.com. If you can't get there, you can watch Tom and I bring it to you live. We're going to have a wireless mic on Dan Rotteball and all the action on the Comcast network, and we know you've been enjoying those games. You can also register to win a trip to the Arena Bowl simply by finding the Soul on Facebook and liking the Soul. You could win an all-expense trip to New Orleans for the championship game. And if you have a birthday coming up, there's no better way than to celebrate with the Soul. Special package put together they have for you down there that will include club box seats for your little one and for your entire family. Go to 888-789-SOUL or PhiladelphiaSoul.com. Now we want to thank Chicky and Pete's, where we staged this, one of our owners. Doug Plank not here, Clint, but General Manager Tom Goodhines filling in. Nice job.
Hey, thank you. Hey, it's big shoes to fill, but you know, I'm able to step up and make the call.
Excellent. Dan Rotteball, Leroy Thompson, our guests. We thank Foods Galore. You're watching Walk the Plank. We'll see you soon.
Walk the Plank is presented by Valley Forge Casino Resort, located just 2 minutes from the King of Prussia Mall on North Gulf Road. And by Bud Light. Here we go.